Morning.
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 Good morning.
Yes, correct. And we could. So that's us in the bottom corner. Yes.
These are not 6 class kids, are they?
Year 6.
They don't look very old. They look like that's 12 or something.
You can still wait, Joseph.
Just a moment. I'm just going to check And one comment from the residents last week was that it's all very new, and they said some of the students look to be quite nervous. So, see some smiles on your faces, please. And can we all hear the biggest pretend laugh you can do on 3? 1, 2, 3. Pretend laugh. So when you're asking questions, you can smile if you want to, because it's much easier to see you. And remember, put your hands up when you're saying your name. And if you have a question, put your hand up, say your name, and address the person you're speaking to. You may want to say, my question is to Helen. I'll introduce Helen in a moment. Or my question is to Harry. So make sure you address the person and put your hand up when you have a question and say your name. So Isaac, over to you.
Good morning, my name is Lee, and sitting next to me is Isaac. I would also like to introduce my classmates. Say hello, everyone.
Hi.
Could each of you please introduce yourself?
My name is Helen.
My name's Georgie.
My name is Margaret.
My name is Harry.
Back here.
My name is Joel.
Bella. Denise in the blue.
My name is Nick.
I'm Shirley.
Mary, wait.
Hey.
Mary.
And we have Rex now joining us.
Okay.
So it's very good to see Rex this morning.
Rex is at the front. Where is Rex?
No.
Is Rex there?
No. Is Rex joining us today, Greg?
Is Rex joining us?
Yes, here he is.
Oh, everyone clap for Rex.
There you go, you can see it now.
This is the 3rd time we have participated in this type of learning. My friends will now share some of the new words and phrases we've learnt. Rochelle will begin.
Hello, my name is Rochelle. We've learnt 13 new words altogether. We had to find out what these meant after speaking to you. The word I found most interesting was machinist. I found out that this was the job title given to the woman who worked a sewing machine to make clothes. My teacher explained that today we refer to this as a tailor. My friend Bradley will now tell you about the new phrases we learnt.
Wait a second.
Hello, my name is Bradley. We have learnt 10 new phrases altogether. The phrase I found most interesting was segregation. It meant girls played a vigoro, which is a vigoro. I know that it is a sport only girls played. It is a combination of tennis and baseball. Eve now has a question for you guys.
We have looked up the meaning and know what these words now mean. Thank you for increasing our vocabulary and knowledge of words. As you know, we are in our last term of primary school, which in 2019 we refer to as Year 6, and we will commence high school next year. For many of us, this is a very scary time because we know it will be different to primary school. Today, we would like to ask you some questions about what challenges you faced while in Year 7. Are you ready to give us some advice?
Yes.
My question is for Audrey. Hello, Audrey. During our time at primary school, we have been lucky enough to either walk to school or get a lift in a car with our parents because our home is quite close to the school. Last week, Norm told us that he had to catch a train to school. Do you have to catch a train or other public transport to school?
The high school, yes. We've got a tram or a bus.
How long were you on the tram or bus for?
About 20 minutes, even less. I'm not sure. It wasn't very far. We used to walk it sometimes.
What time did you have to be at school?
8:30, I think we used to leave. And the high school is different to the other school.
It's the train.
It's hard.
Did you find travelling to high school a big change to get used to?
Yes, and I loved it. It's good.
Great. Okay.
Audrey, do you have any questions you would like to ask us?
Not really. You have a long way to go to your school? You live locally.
It's a half an hour bus ride.
Oh. Oh,
Do you like to ride the bus?
No, I don't want to. I don't know.
Do you enjoy travelling by public transport?
Didn't mind because I never went anywhere else in buses or trams. I lived near the school before, then we went to high school, was further down, and it's good.
Thank you.
The other one. Do the other one. Audrey. Yeah. The other resident.
Would any of the other residents like to ask a question?
Yeah.
So, Rex, do you have a question about transport to school?
Transport to school. I used to go 5 miles to Stoughton School. I used to get Shanks's pony.
I don't understand.
You know what that is?
No. What is it?
Pony? You use your legs.
Oh. What is it called?
Have you never heard that?
No.
Ask him to say again. What was the
Say it
word?
again.
Sorry, could you say that again?
What was the word?
What was the word for walking?
Shanks's pony.
Something.
Shacks.
Shaxy's pony.
You spell that, Rex?
Yeah. Can you say that again? Can you say that again?
Sorry, can you say that one more time?
Shanks's pony.
Shanks's pony.
So it's an old, I suppose it's an old slang word for walking.
Yeah. So is that So is that a proper word or?
I think it's a bit of slang.
So is that a slang word?
Is that a slang word?
It's not slang, it's just an old saying.
Oh, so thank you.
Thank you.
I've walked to school. I get Shanks's pony to school.
Oh, that's interesting.
You walked.
Okay, so thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Isaac.
Right.
How are you?
Thank you.
Good, thank you. My question is for Nick. Hello, Nick.
Hello, Isaac. How are you?
Good. Next year, we know that our high school will be very different to our primary school. Last week, Nancy said that she got lost when moving around her high school. Did you have someone to help you if you became lost while moving around your high school?
Yes, we had prefects.
What did the prefects do?
Well, they'd point you or take you to where you wanted to go. Before we start, I grew up in Adelaide. I went to the high school in Adelaide. I didn't grow in New South Wales. I shifted to New South Wales about 50 years ago. So I don't know the difference between Adelaide schools and New South Wales schools. I think they're the same.
Why did you come to New South Wales?
I started to go around Australia and I finished up in Sydney and I got a job in Sydney and I got married in Sydney. I had a family in Sydney.
What did the prefects?
What did the prefects wear? Did they wear like a special badge or something like that?
I went to Woodville High School, wore grey pants, white shirt, blue tie and a blue blazer.
What's a blazer?
Like a coat. A coat. like a sports coat, blue blazer, and the prefects had a stripe on their sleeves.
Nick, do you have any question you would like to ask me?
Not really, no.
Okay, ask the others.
Would any of the other residents like to ask me a question?
What high school did you go to?
Anyone else?
I'm going to St. Patrick's Marist in Dundas.
So that means you're going to have to travel.
Yes, I'll have to travel by bus.
So what time do you have to leave to catch the bus?
Thank you.
I'll have to leave at around 7:30 to get there by about 8 o'clock, 8:15.
Say, I hope we have prefix here.
And school starts at 9 o'clock?
I think so, or 8:55.
That's 5 to 9.
5 to 9.
What time does it finish?
Finishes at about 4:30.
That's long. How long do you have for lunch?
About 30 to 45 minutes.
Morning tea?
There's 10 minutes.
Morning tea is about 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
All right.
Afternoon tea?
Afternoon tea, we have that when we get home.
All right. Raid the fridge.
Yes. Say thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next to come up.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, Nick.
I have a question for Nick. Do you remember what the name of your high school was?
Woodville High School. I come from Adelaide. I live towards Port Adelaide. If you look at the map, I lived around Port Adelaide. So I used to have to catch a bus to Woodville High School. Then my parents bought me a push bike and I rode to school.
Did you like riding to school?
Yes. It was nearly 10 kilometres. I rode every day and back. Well, you had to do it. You know, you have a look in the bush, kids in the bush, they'd walk 10 kilometres or ride a horse. Haven't you see 6 children on a horse? They're all going to school.
Wow.
Did you ever ride a horse to school?
I was in the suburbs. We were in the city. We were never in the bush. We never had horses. I lived up next door. The family next door to me had horses, but we never rode them because they were trotters.
Yeah,
You know
what?
what trotters are?
No.
No. What's a trotter?
They're the races that have the little gig behind them, and the bloke sits in a little cart thing behind the horse. You've got trotters, and they're the ones with the straps around the legs, so they only trot. They don't run. They're either trotters or paces. Paces are without the straps to stop them. And they do go fast. They do trot fast, believe you me.
Do you still have friends?
Did you have many friends in high school?
Yes, I had heaps of friends because I played soccer and volleyball.
Wow.
I played soccer in winter and played volleyball in summer. And the volleyball team in 5 years wasn't beaten. We had a professional volleyball player with us. He was over 2 metres tall.
Wow.
Do you play volleyball? Do you play volleyball? Do you play volleyball? It isn't it's a 6-sided game over the net.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we do. Say we learned it this year.
We learned this year.
So do you still keep in contact?
What was your favourite position to play in soccer?
I could kick with both feet. I played left full back or left wing or left half. But I think the positions have changed now in soccer. There are defenders and attackers. But we were set up the goalkeeper, two backs, left and right, and then there was 3 across the team, left half back, centre half back, and right half back. That was the defending side part. And then you had 5 across the front, which is the left wing, left inside wing, centre forward, right inside wing, right wing. They were the attackers. And when the ball went up, the fullbacks never went past the halfway line.
Yeah.
Because we were defenders. If the ball come over, somebody had to run back.
Yeah, we have defenders, midfielders, and strikers.
Yeah, that's what we were like, roughly.
Do girls play?
Yeah.
Would girls play soccer?
Not at our schools, no.
Not in our day.
Not in our day. Unfortunately, girls never really. We had a lot of good tennis players.
Did you?
So Chanel plays tennis, right?
Chanel plays tennis.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever play tennis?
No, I wasn't really interested. Shirley said yes. Shirley played tennis.
At high school.
Chanel plays at a championship level. Chanel does, so Chanel gives a bit of a wave. Recently, do you want to tell us what you did? Big voice.
Recently, I represented New South Wales in a teams event and we won the tournament.
So her team won the tournament.
Ask her to stand up so we can see.
Can you hear that? Stand up, Chanel. Say that again, big voice.
Recently, I represented New South Wales in a teams event and I went to Perth and we won the tournament.
They won the tournament.
We have some more students who would like to ask questions. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Go for it.
Excuse me, Mr. Moses.
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear the speech from the residents here clearly in your classroom?
Yes, very clear. Can you hear us?
Very clear, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Andrew. And sitting next to me is Jessica. My question is for Harry. Hello, Harry.
Hi, Harry.
Hello there.
I'm at school from 8:30 to 3 p.m. each day, which is six and a half hours. This equals 390 minutes or 23,400 seconds. To say something To say something mean and nasty can take less than 3 seconds. These 3 seconds can really hurt someone for days, weeks, years, and sometimes that hurt remains throughout their life. Do you think it's fair to tease and be nasty to someone?
Never.
Oh, sorry, this is for
Harry.
Well, some people tease me because, like, I'm short and just the way I look. What happened to students who teased others when you were at school?
Well, as I previously said to you, my education was in Germany. We had a lot of interruption, air interruption. I had various school teachers, and our education system was very, very poor, unfortunately.
Harry, do you have any questions you want to ask me?
So why was it interrupted? Why was your education interrupted?
Why was your education interrupted?
Well, it was.
Why was your education interrupted?
Wartime.
Which war?
One moment, we'll just try and let Harry answer, because sometimes it's a bit hard to hear the students.
Just can't understand.
Yeah, you may have to speak the word a bit slower and speak louder, please. Can you start from the beginning of your questions? Because Harry couldn't quite hear you when you started speaking. So big voice, but slower words, please, when you're speaking. Go ahead.
Sometimes I'm teased because the way I look. Were you ever teased in school?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember? Do you remember what they teased you about?
You remember what they teased you about?
Well, the same like everyone else has. You know, different subjects.
What did you do?
Sorry, the children are asking, the word teasing, did anyone torment you at school, or did you see other students tormented or bullied or treated poorly?
No, I was treated very poorly. As I said, we had very, very poor education system through air interruption. And we lost a lot of people through air raids and what have you.
Did any students say mean and nasty things to other students?
Not really, no.
Why was that? Why were they weren't mean or nasty?
Well, why should they be nasty? I mean, we all were in the same boat.
He said we shouldn't be nasty because we're all in the same boat.
Do you have any advice for me?
Do you have any advice for me
when people
treat me bad?
What should I do?
What should I do?
Right.
So his question was, do you have any advice for him if someone is mean and nasty to him? How should he react? What is your advice as to how he should react if other students are mean and nasty to him at school?
Well, we're trying to, how could I phrase it? Trying to help each other, you know.
Is that a good answer? Trying to help each other?
So does anyone else have any advice?
Does anyone else have any advice?
Yeah, take him outside and punch his nose.
Rex was being a bit cheeky there. And we'll repeat the comment that we don't take this seriously. Rex sometimes likes to joke a bit, but the question was, can you repeat that question, please?
Does anyone have any else advice for me?
Anyone have any advice for being picked on?
Does anyone else have any advice for me if I'm getting picked on?
What if they're being cheeky to you or mucking you around? You tell them to leave me alone or I'll take you outside and punch you on the nose.
He's joking.
You can't do that now.
They're joking, aren't they?
It doesn't happen.
That's if you're big enough to beat them.
Oh, Rick.
We're not allowed to do that. We're not allowed to do that at school.
He's laughing about that. He's joking.
What do you do?
Usually I usually walk away or I just cry.
Yeah.
Walks away.
That's very sensible.
Very sensible. Walk away and report to the teacher.
Thank you.
Okay, here's Jessica.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jessica. My question is for Helen.
Big voice.
Hello, Helen.
Wave. You can yell, Jess.
Last week you said that Latin was a subject you studied at school. We learnt to say hello. Salve. I don't think I would be very good at Latin if I had to study it. Are there any rules to remember when you learn and speak Latin?
That was so long ago, I really can't remember, but there was only a small group that did Latin, about 6 people out of the whole of the first year at high school. But it's easy once you start, because you start off with the simple things and you work your way up. So I did it for 5 years, but it started off, it was easy. It was like doing French. You start off with basic things and build it on it. But no, they were both easy.
Did you?
Language.
Did you find
Sorry.
Did you find one subject very difficult to study in high school?
Not really, no. No, when I did high school, you chose 6 subjects when you did the leaving, which was your final year of high school. And I did French and Latin, modern history and ancient history, English and general maths. And that was it. And then that got me into Teachers College.
What's general maths?
General maths was general maths. It was just general. It wasn't maths 1 or maths 2 or trigonometry. It was just an overall smattering of general maths.
Basic maths.
Sorry, basic maths, yes.
Do you have any questions you want to ask me?
Now, what high school are you going to next year?
I'm going to Surdon.
So will that mean travelling?
Yes.
So where do you live now?
I live in Greystanes.
Oh, yeah. Because Surdon College isn't that far from Guildford West School. Maryland. Yeah. It's on a bed. Right.
I'll be travelling to school by bus.
Nice. So what time will you have to leave home in the morning?
5 to 8.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
You still got to get up and have breakfast, haven't you, before that? Are you far from the bus stop?
No.
So that's lucky. Yeah. Well, good luck next year.
How long did you study at Teachers College?
How long did you study at Teachers College?
2 years. We did in my day it was 2 years at Teachers College. And every holidays, from the very first holiday, at the end of first term, we had to do a prac, go into a school and do practice teaching. We were assigned a teacher and we did lesson notes and then we taught the lesson that we'd written the notes for.
Did only girls teach?
No, it was mixed. Boys and girls did the college in my day.
When did you know you wanted to become a teacher?
I think that was something that I always wanted to do. Even when I was young and played games and that, I used to play schools. So, yes, always. From an early age. And then it was only in my final year of teaching that I taught French from kindergarten to year 6. That was all I taught, French.
How many years?
Go on.
How many years did you teach for?
From when I was 20 till I was 55. So that's 35 years. And then when I retired, I did casual teaching, where if the school had a teacher who was sick or was away for any reason, then they'd call a casual, and I was one of the casuals that used to go. So then I did casual teaching for about 9 years before I stopped teaching altogether.
Would you come to our school to do casual teaching?
Not now. I would have in the olden days, but now I'm in a wheelchair, so no, I don't go anywhere near a school. You get up and down steps.
You'd sound like you'd be a great teacher.
Thank you. I did love teaching, and I still see people that I taught years ago. I've run into several of them when I've been out, and they've said, "Excuse me," one of the girls that I taught, "Excuse me, are you a teacher?" And I said, "No, but I used to be." And she said, "Do you remember me?" I used to be the blur girl. I taught her French in my final year at Guildford West, and I used to call her the blue girl, which is the blue girl. And after all those years, she remembered that, and she said, "Remember me? I was the blue girl." So it's lovely when you see things like that happen. But yes, I do run into people that I taught years ago, and it's lovely that they still remember you too, and you always remember them. Yes.
How do you say hello?
How do you say hello in French?
Bonjour.
How do you say goodbye?
Au revoir.
Parlez-vous français?
He just said, "Do you speak French?"
So I don't know.
No, I don't.
Say au revoir. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Everyone say au revoir.
Can I say something about Helen? I go to Westmead Hospital to go to the endoscopy unit, and one of the nurses there was Sophie Ward. She remembers Helen from school, from high school.
Yes. A long time ago.
Everyone's interconnected.
Everyone say that.
Everyone's interconnected. Everyone
knows everybody.
That is
Well,
very true.
We've got 2 more questions.
We've got 2 more questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful Sammy, lovely. Beautiful Felisa. Don't forget to facial expressions. Mark, your voice. Mark, you starting. Again.
Good morning. My name is Mark.
Yeah.
And this is Maya.
Wait.
My question is for Joseph.
Yeah.
Next year, many of my friends are attending a different high school to me. Do you have any trouble making new friends in high school?
Who was the question for, sorry?
Rex.
Yes.
Rex, we've asked you a question.
Say again, was it, have you got any friends in high school? I never went to high school.
Where did you go?
Where did you go after primary school?
I used to go to ordinary, we call boys' school. The girls go to the girls' school, I went to the boys' school.
Did you have any friends?
Oh, yes.
Of course you will.
I had plenty of friends, plenty of enemies. I could dodge some and say good day to others.
What subjects did you learn in boys' school?
That they didn't learn in girls' school. Before we say it again, what subjects?
I think
I didn't learn nothing. Yeah, A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3.
else? Did you do anything?
Arithmetic.
Say,
When you learn that, they kick you out of school.
Were you out of school?
What was the name of your school?
Stoughton Boys School.
What country?
In UK, in England.
So you went to a different school then?
Same as Harry. The war was on. Hello, you better. Harry's
school, Harry? The Harry went
war in Germany.
Harry's.
My school was in England during the war, when we were both trying to wipe each other out.
So I'm glad you didn't.
I'm glad you both didn't get hurt.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, anything else? Say, what was your favourite subject in boys' school?
What was your favourite subject in boys' school?
I'll say it again.
I don't know, I can't remember. Sports or holidays, anything you get out of it.
Yes,
Same with me.
that's the same.
School. I'd sooner be out free,
That's like me.
That's like me.
doing what I like to do.
What was his first job?
What was your first job?
My first job, I worked for my father. He was a carpenter builder.
What was the first thing that you built?
I built a sandwich, I think.
What's your favourite?
I don't really have sandwiches that much.
What's your favourite sandwich? Ask you.
What's your favourite sandwich?
What was your first sandwich?
What was your favourite sandwich?
I used to like corned beef. You used to have the tin. You never had that, did you?
No.
You get tins of corned beef. You shake it out the tin and cut it in slices. Between a bit of bread and butter. With a bit of tomato sauce.
Vegemite.
Vegemite.
Have you tried Vegemite?
Have you tried Vegemite before?
Not till I come to Australia.
Do you like Vegemite?
They don't sell that stuff overseas.
Do you like it though?
Like what?
Vegemite.
Vegemite? I could love it and leave it.
So he doesn't really like it.
So you have a question for me?
Do you have any questions for me?
Rex?
What do you like?
On your sandwiches, what do you like to eat?
I like ham on my sandwiches.
Anything else? How about lunch orders?
Have you ever had bread and dripping?
No.
No.
So what's that?
What's that?
Guys, listening. Bread and dripping, is it?
It's the fat. When you cook a roast of beef and the fat is in the pan and leave it in the pan and it congeals.
Yeah.
And you can spread it on bread like butter.
Do they know what congeals means?
And a little bit of salt. Have you people ever had bread and dripping?
No, those little. Yeah.
No, they're calling funny faces. I don't think they like it very much at all. No. Is it crazy?
It was nothing to make faces about. I used to love it.
Is it like gravy?
What do you like, gravy?
I always have gravy on the dinner. Do you have a roast dinner without gravy?
Yeah, no? No.
Yeah, no. I don't eat.
No.
That's what makes the dinner. Have a roast with Yorkshire pudding and gravy. Now what's Yorkshire pudding? That's a pudding they make a batter. And they put it in the dish and pop it in the oven and it raises up like a pancake. Then they cut pieces off and put them on your plate for dinner.
Do you like pancakes?
Oh yeah, of course I do. Plenty of drink, syrup, jam, lemon.
Say one day together.
One day we'll have to have pancakes together.
Yeah.
One day we will have to have pancakes together.
Thanks so much.
You're going to make them?
Yes.
How are we going for time, Miss Moses? How's the time for you?
Yes.
Yeah, wind up. Okay, we might leave it then. Maya will leave her question for next week.
Is there
Okay.
one perhaps?
Sorry?
The young lady student, the young girl student, does she have a couple of questions before we finish?
Yeah, very quickly, Maya. Yep.
Hello, my name is Maya. My question is for Margaret. Hello, Margaret.
Hello.
We are currently attending a Catholic school. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you is a phrase that we are reminded about every single day. Do you think that this is an important rule?
Did you hear the question?
No, not right.
Can you repeat the question a bit louder and a bit slower, please?
My question is for
My question is for Audrey and Margaret.
Big voice.
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you is a phrase that we are reminded about every day. Do you think that this is an important rule?
Yes, I do.
We use that every day.
Why do you think?
Or would you like somebody to do something to you?
No.
Oh.
No, say no. 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 Next part. No.
Did you have any important rule or phrase that you were expected to follow?
At school.
At school?
Yes, we had to be obedient. And we did. And, we had rules.
Say Audrey. Audrey.
What about Audrey? Do you have any important rules at school?
Do you have any important rules?
No, we just looked after each other. And everything.
Do you think those are important?
Do you think that rules are important?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
I think so too.
I think so too.
Yeah. I think so.
I think so.
For us at school, keep your nose clean and behave yourself.
What do you mean keep your nose clean? What does that look like? So, do you have any questions you want to ask?
Does anyone have any questions that they want to ask?
Not really, no. No, I'm right, thank you.
Talk about No.3 this week.
We have 3 important rules at our school: to learn well, look after each other, and live responsibly.
Okay, do you want to say them together, everyone?
Learn well, look after each other, and live responsibly. These rules are really good.
Do you think they are?
Do any students in the back of the room have any questions at all?
At all?
Hands up if you do.
Anyone have a question? Yep, Christian, to untap it. Say hello, my name is Christian.
Hello, my name is Christian. What would happen if you didn't follow the expectations
or
rules at your school?
So repeat the question, please.
What would happen if you didn't follow any expectations or rules at your school?
If it was really bad, what you did, you could end up with detention.
We got caned. In our schools, we got caned.
In those days, you do use the cane.
I know.
5 whacks across the finger. Another one.
Detention. What is detention?
That's for playing right? Detention.
Detention?
Yes, we had detention. If you'd done something really bad, you ended up missing out on recess or lunch break where you were out in the playground, and you had to go to a room which was the detention room, one of the classrooms that was designated to be the detention room for the day, and the teacher would be in there and supervise the people who were on detention.
Was it scary?
Not really, I suppose.
Friends, were you on detention?
And you probably have to write out why you shouldn't do what you did and give the reasons. So you have to think about what you've done that was wrong.
Any other questions from other students at all, Miss Moses?
One more from Daniel.
Was the girl punishments different from the boy punishments?
So Nick, would you like to answer that question?
Well, I went to a high school. It was supposed to be co-ed, but there was girls one side and boys the other. So I couldn't really tell you, but I think it was the same. I think everybody got caned, whether you're a girl or a boy.
Audrey.
Not like that in high school. We did it primary. We never really did.
Just repeat the question again, please.
Were the girl punishments different to the boy punishments?
Margaret?
No.
No. Goodness.
I was in a girls' school. They were over the other side.
Oh, okay, there you go.
What was that?
He said girls on the other side.
Maybe, Felicity, do you want to ask a question? Anyone have any other questions? Yep, go, Kat. Last one, yep.
Did the cane hurt?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Have you got dad? Have you got a father? Ask your father to give you a whack across the fingers.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a little swishy stick. Bamboo stick.
Okay, teach them.
Hurts.
Know what the duster is? That's what you got too.
I think I've seen one.
So maybe do you think Sam High School is going to be a scary thing? Scary boys? My name is? Yep.
My name is Samuel, and do you think that starting high school is a scary thing?
Samuel, yes. Yep.
So that
My name
question,
Yes.
perhaps Harry can answer that question. So can you repeat the question for Harry, please?
Hello, my name is Samuel, and Harry, do you think starting high school is scary?
Yes.
Yes. But do you think we will be okay?
Do you think that will be okay in high school?
As far as I can remember, we did not. We were all good students. How about that?
The question was it scary going from primary school to high school?
No. Well, in those days it was, because there were only limited available teacher to go into a high school or a primary school. You understand what I mean? At least they had some education, but limited, unfortunately.
So high school doing today.
Why was that?
The circumstances we didn't have any proper schools. They were bomb-right. We had
Schools were bombed.
with
So we should be.
air raids.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of the name.
And I think you mentioned before that you went through, there were many teachers at your school because they ended up being conscripted to war or to the army.
Exactly. And you had teachers that weren't even aware how far they went for teaching, you understand? Which subject, you see?
Yes.
They just took any teachers at all. No, it was a very, very poor education, I'm afraid, but there's nothing you could have done about it. Nothing.
Do you think these students are lucky with their
They are very, very lucky, yes. I couldn't even stand my own parents. I lost relations with bomb riots and what have you. Terrible things happen. That's why I came out here to Australia. I came here in 1951, you see. And I worked for the hydroelectric for 2 years and came back to Sydney. I had no intention to stay in this country, but in the meantime I met my wife, and that was the end of it. But I've been lucky in a lot of ways, you know. A very, very bad experience you had as a young person.
You're very strong.
Harry, to overcome
Harry, we think you're very strong to overcome all that drama
in your life.
in your life.
Repeat the question, please. Janine.
Daniel's just making a comment. Daniel?
Harry, we think you're like very strong, like overcoming all the drama in your life.
You're a hero.
You're a hero.
Is it painting?
Yes, some of the hobbies of mine are, I'm very much interested in art and craft. And one day you'll be able to come down here and we can show you different things. The same, I was building matchsticks. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
No.
But I got a whole cabinet downstairs where you can have a look. You've got to be a very patient person to be able to do it.
That's our bell.
Sorry. No.
Wow. Can you make that? You made it what yet? You made the matchsticks.
About 10, 15, 12 years ago. I've been here 13 years.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes, it's you've got to be very patient to do it.
Do you teach us? Do you
It's a
think
hobby and it's an interest. It's the main thing.
That's amazing. See?
That's amazing.
Hands if you like that. Wow.
All over like
Could you do that?
Very talented.
Yes.
we just children the other day. They came from school.
Guildford.
Guildford school, yes. They were very impressed. We're going to move this thing upstairs here. It's going to be taken.
That's amazing. Okay. So May say that's amazing.
That's amazing.
So thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you.
All you girls and boys, you're very lucky to be in a country like Australia and have the education that your people
That's
get.
for sure. That's certainly.
I wish we'd had it.
Yeah.
Say that now. Say that now.
We realise that.
In Europe, it was all upside down. Because you had England and Germany fighting each other.
That was ridiculous. Oh, that's war.
It's war, but it's what upset us.
That's right.
Say 5 years about where we should be educated. Where you children are so lucky to be in Australia, no wars, happy every day.
Thank you. I think they realise that now after speaking to you all and how fortunate they are. So thank you for taking the time again. We'll see you again on Thursday, but I'll have lots more questions to ask you. So Year 6, do we want to say good morning and thank you to our
Oh, it went off quick.
friends? Good morning.
Bye.
Anyone say
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. And can we close it, Miss? Greg? You there? Do you want us to end the meeting?
I know, we're just going to keep, you've got to go to morning recess now, correct? So leave it recording, the students can just go, we'll keep it recording.
Okay, everyone say bye. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go, Mark.
Miss, do you want me to be on the microphone?
wasn't too bad. That's still,
People were conscripted to the Vietnam War. Males that were at college with me went straight into the army. Because they were conscripted.
That's what they called it.
Better than last week?
Yes, it was.
That's what they had the conscription for, wasn't it?
I know there's a lot of things to be improved.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's very hard for me.
It was in the Korean War.
Yes.
You see, you were sitting next to me and you told me about what to say. You see, it shouldn't be.
Yes.
Enjoy the feast.
Vietnam I wanted to go.
It would be a big plus.
I wanted to
I got staffled in the country.
That's why.
They're going to try to kill me one way or the other.